What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing what in the world happened in that fourth quarter meltdown for the Detroit Lions, and how can they fix that heading into the Green Bay game. Let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out Dose of Dion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know Dose of Dion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome everybody to another video. Glad you guys are here, and I know what some of you guys are thinking. Hold up, I thought we were done with the Chicago Bears game. We absolutely are done with the Chicago Bears game, and we are not going to put too much emotion into today's video, okay? I get it. We lost. We're moving on. I'm focused on the Packers, but I think it's important. It's a must that we go back and see what happened in that fourth quarter, that we go back and see why the Lions blew that lead. Because if we don't know why we blew the lead and what went wrong, how in the world are we going to fix it next week? We can't just look at it and say, yeah, that was bad. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Well, hold up. What happened, right? We have to look at what happened, because if we don't know what happened, how are we going to fix it? And how are you guys as fans going to be at all optimistic if you have no idea what the Lions did wrong? So what I wanted to do is go back, look at that complete meltdown, watch all those drives, and see what happened. What really went wrong with this Lions defense? Because blame's going everywhere right now. Everybody's throwing blame at different places. Some people are throwing at Stafford. Some people are throwing at the coaching. Some people are throwing at certain players. It's going everywhere right now. Heck, I mean, it's everybody's pretty much fair game at this point. I think there's a lot of people involved with this, of course. When you give up 21 points in the fourth quarter and you don't score offensively, everybody should be to blame, okay? There's a lot of players blame. There's a lot of blame to go around. And we're going to touch on that in today's video, but we're mainly focusing on the defensive side of the ball, because 3 of the last 4 drives, the Chicago Bears put up touchdowns and they beat us. Why did that happen? Okay, because there's something to that. It doesn't just happen. Because in the first 3 quarters, we gave up 6 points. So we should be looking at this and saying, hey, we did good for the first 3 quarters defensively. If we can, figure out what went wrong in the fourth quarter, we should be good to go heading into Green Bay, right? That's all we have to do. So we have to look back at this part of the Chicago game. I want to move on from the Bears game, but I think it's also necessary for us to understand what went wrong. So that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. So I went back, I looked at the Chicago Bears' last 4 offensive drives, okay? 3 of those last 4 drives, they scored touchdowns. We're going to start off with their first touchdown drive. So I watched the last 4 drives for Chicago Bears, and I just wanted to kind of see what went wrong, okay? I wanted to see for myself, because in the moment you kind of forget, it gets all cloudy. You're just really trying to focus on, hey, did we make a play, did we not? But I really want to go back and see, okay, what actually happened here? All right, was this coaching? Did he completely change his scheme? What really went wrong in this situation? So that's what we're going to be doing here, and hopefully getting to the end of this and figuring out what the Lions can do to help themselves against the Packers next week, who are going to be a very big challenge with that offense. Because we have to know. We have to know. 6 points and 21 points in a quarter, you got to know what happened there. So we're going to hop right into it. Let's just get it started. We're going to start off with that first drive. This was basically the end of the third quarter, heading into the fourth quarter. It was the first touchdown drive for the Chicago Bears. It was a longer one. And let's just go, man. Play-by-play. I'll show the play-by-play, but we're going to, break it down a little bit more, because I did just watch it all, so I pretty much know exactly what happened. So we'll break it down a little bit more. I have some pictures, have some videos I'll also be throwing up as we go. But first down, I can't do a lot because it's copyright. But first down, okay, they go out there, right? They got the ball. It's a good return by Cordell Patterson. First down is a pass play. They throw it out to David Montgomery. The pass is incomplete. Second down. All right, remember, they tried to just kind of swing it out really quick to David Montgomery. It didn't work. It was incomplete. Second down. Handoff out of the shotgun. Nothing going. No gain at all. Danny Shelton basically just blows it up. All of a sudden, we're sitting in a 3rd and 10 situation. I thought he lost yard, but they said no gain. So 3rd and 10 coming up here. This is a heck of a start. You're probably thinking, well, what the heck did go wrong, right? This is a good start. We get a run stop. We got an incomplete pass. Third down. Third down kind of kicks it all off. Mitchell Trubisky has Anthony Miller in the slot. Anthony Miller over the middle, over the seam, gets a big gain, a big chunk, a big first down. All right, keeps the drive alive, and ultimately keeps the Bears alive in this game. So Trubisky to Anthony Miller right here. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, well, hold up. Who was in coverage? What kind of coverage was it? We were in a little bit of a zone. It looked like the Lions dropped into a little bit of a zone here. But who was the closest to the football? Who was actually probably responsible in coverage? That would be Darryl Roberts. If you guys can remember, Justin Coleman went down with an injury shortly before this. So Justin Coleman's not there, which means Darryl Roberts had to step into that place of Justin Coleman. So Roberts is taking over that role. That could be part of the reason that Matt Patricia mixed it up into a little bit of a zone here, because he didn't think he could match up man-to-man with Anthony Miller. And you will see that he may have been absolutely right with that. So he mixed into a little bit of zone here. Maybe it's the right thing to do. Maybe it's not. Either way, it's a completion. Darryl Roberts is in coverage. Okay, that's okay. You give him a completion. It happens. Let's continue to get stopped. Well, very next play. 4th play of the drive. Trubisky throws to Allen Robinson for a first down. Again, Darryl Roberts in coverage. They have Robinson inside, and they have Darryl Roberts lined up on him. This is now man-to-man. Not zone, this is now man. Darryl Roberts beating coverage. It wasn't completely awful coverage, but he did give up the reception. It was a big gain. So all of a sudden, another first down. So they're starting to push towards the end zone. Fifth play, a scramble. Trubisky picks up a couple of yards, and that is the play that Desmond Trufant goes down with an injury. So now all of a sudden, now there's no more Desmond Trufant, there's no more Justin Coleman. We already saw without Justin Coleman, Darryl Roberts is getting kind of picked apart here, right? Darryl Roberts is being attacked, okay, because the Bears realize that, and they don't care who he's guarding, but they're going to go after that guy. They do it back-to-back plays here. Now all of a sudden, Desmond Trufant's out, who's having a really good game. Desmond Trufant gets hurt. Guess who steps in? That's Tony McRae. Tony McRae, the former Bengal, special team standout, but probably shouldn't be on the field in this situation. And we'll see right away there's a big problem here. First down, Tony McRae out there. Well, it's actually second down, but it's the first down with Tony McRae on the field and Darryl Roberts. They have an incomplete pass to the end zone. It was a bad throw. It was an overthrow by Mitchell Trubisky. Tony McRae was in coverage here. They attacked him on the first play. The Bears are not dumb. Okay, they realize that this is not Desmond Trufant anymore. They attack him first play. It was a bad pass. He was burnt. It would have been a touchdown. So all of a sudden, boom, incomplete pass. Probably would have been a touchdown, though, because he was burnt in that situation. So what do? Next play, they throw it out to Tariq Cohen. He throw it out to Tariq Cohen out of the backfield, out of the flats there. And it probably should have been a stop for a loss. Will Harris missed a tackle, which led to him making it close and making a 4th and 1, which ultimately the Bears, the next play, would go for it and get a first down. They get a little quick pitch. It's a first down. Bears move the chains, and all of a sudden this drive is still alive. Now they're pushing right up next to the goal line here. 9th play, we get a little shovel pass, which is technically counted as a pass, but it's just a little shovel pass over the middle to Allen Robinson. Doesn't get him in the end zone, gets him a couple more yards though. Mitchell Trubisky rolling out to his left, throws, Tracy Walker jumps it, could have had an interception, would have ended the game, probably would have scored a touchdown, but he drops the interception. The Lions couldn't have been in a better spot here defensively. This is a tough play to cover by the goal line. It's been historically a very tough play for the Lions to cover. But they're in perfect position. Tracy Walker gets right in the face of Mitchell Trubisky and makes a heck of a play to at least knock it down. But guess who Mitchell Trubisky was throwing it towards? You probably guessed it. Tony McRae, who was covering David Montgomery, the running back, and was burnt. Dave Montgomery would have had a touchdown if Tracy Walker doesn't make this tip. All of a sudden, you see again, that's twice now. 2 times already they have targeted Tony McRae, and they already have 2 completions on this drive to Darryl Roberts. The 2 guys that had to come in. Okay, the 2 guys that had to come in off the bench here. Okay, so an incomplete pass. Next play, touchdown, Jimmy Graham. They get a one-on-one with Jimmy Graham and Tracy Walker. It's a touchdown. This is just a tough matchup in general. But you have no Jimmy Collins because he gets taken out for the game because he gets suspended early. Well, not suspended, but he gets thrown out of the game early. So he's not out there to match up. So you have to put your safety. That's Tracy Walker. You have nowhere J. Ron Curtis because he's also suspended. It's probably your best bet is to put Tracy Walker out there. I mean, I really don't know what else you would have done. Tried, but he couldn't knock it away. So there's your touchdown. So as you can see, 4 targets and 2 completions. 4 targets to either Tony McRae or Darryl Roberts on the first drive alone. The first drive alone. And the 2 big plays that got him there, Darryl Roberts in coverage where Justin Coleman would have been. Okay, second drive. Lions back out there. It's 23-13. Okay, we're good. Let's get another stop. And they do. Very good second drive defensively. First play doesn't go very good. We get a missed sack here. The Lions bring some pressure. They brought a lot of pressure, and we'll get to that. They brought some pressure. I believe this was a 4-man rush. Can't exactly remember. But they got to the quarterback. They had an opportunity to get a sack. But no, they missed a sack, and it turns into a face mask. But not only that, Mitchell Trubisky also takes off, picks up a huge gain. So the face mask tacks on to the big gain that Trubisky picks up. They add 15 to the end of it. All of a sudden, their momentum is going again. Now, please, just stick with me with this. Second play, delay of game. All right, the Lions would have had a sack. The Lions bring a blitz. Lions would have a sack. Again, second time getting back to the quarterback. Back-to-back plays at the quarterback. This time, the Lions did have a sack. I think it would have been Julian Okwara, but right off the edge. However, there was a delay of the game first, so it stopped it. They moved it back and him run the next play. And the very next play, we get an incomplete pass to Allen Robinson. 3 plays on this drive, you are hitting the quarterback. That's what you're telling me here. And the last one turned into a fumble, which led to a sack fumble, which the Lions weren't able to recover. It would have been huge if they would have, because they would have already been in position to score, but they weren't able to. However, you did come up with a sack fumble. So boom, the second drive goes really good defensively. Lions get it back. Lions move the ball down the field. They're taking time off the clock. There's only 4 minutes to go. They bring out Matt Prater. Matt Prater misses the field goal. Again, the Bears not in bad field position now because Matt Prater misses the opportunity, missed a field goal. It's still a 10-point game. All right, well, here comes Chicago once again. Here's their third drive. Graham kicks it off with a 7-yard gain on Tracy Walker. It's just a really tough mismatch. We don't have Curse. We don't have Collins. Collins would probably be the guy that I think that would line up on him, but we don't. So Tracy Walker is out there. He's lining up on him because Will Harris struggled in coverage. So Tracy Walker's taking on his match. 7 yards, though. Okay, 2nd and 3 coming up. Only 7 yards. Well, guess what? Next play, Anthony Miller, 18 yards. 18 yards for Anthony Miller. You probably guessed it. It's Tony McRae again. Just a simple route, a simple out route here. He is burnt. There's nothing to it. It's just boom, boom, out route. He's burnt. And it's again another first down. So another big gain. Tony McRae once again being the guy that's targeted. Next up, 3rd down. Jimmy Graham with the big rep to the 1-yard line. Now this was on Will Harris. Now, you may be saying, okay, well, hold up. So it's Will Harris's fault. No, it's not Will Harris's fault. Yes, Will Harris gave up the big completion here. But if you watch this play, what really happened is Julian Okwara not having contained. Mitchell Trubisky is a quarterback that wants to get outside the pocket. Coming into this game, my game plan was this. Don't let Trubisky outside. Don't let him comfortable. Keep him in the quarterback. Make him beat you as a quarterback. Guess what? Julian Okwara gets off the edge, has an opportunity for a sack, misses. It allows Trubisky to get to the outside because he does not contain. And all of a sudden, you have pretty much a direct across from Mitchell Trubisky pass to Will Harris. He is brought down at the 1-yard line. There is no touchdown there, but there will be a touchdown because the very next play, once again, you guessed it, Tony McRae in coverage, can't recover, and they give up a touchdown. Amani and Tony McRae were in man-to-man defense, and the Bears ran a motion to see that. So they're in man-to-man defense. They do a little bit of a cross here, so the Lions switch. Instead of staying, they switch, which is a great idea. However, Tony McRae doesn't realize it until it's too late, can't get back. Boom, another touchdown. He's a main target for this Bears offense. So now it's 23-20. Lions get on offense. They throw an interception. Matthew Stafford tries to squeeze in. It kind of looked like it was there. Eddie Jackson, though, again, one of the biggest playmakers on his team, jumps down, knocks the ball into the air, forces an interception. 4th drive. Guess what happens? We get on the field. 5-yard run. 2nd play. Offsides. Jelani Tavai. 3rd play. Touchdown. Guess who? Tony McRae. So, if you guys look at the plays, and we don't just simply get caught up in, hey, let's look at the box score, 21-0, we were trash. Like, yeah, it was bad. Well, what actually went wrong here? Who were the names that came up over and over and over? It was Tony McRae, and it was Darryl Roberts. It was Roberts who started off, who couldn't take over for Justin Coleman, and they attacked him, and they had success. Tony McRae comes in, Trufant gets hurt, they attack him, they have success. Over and over and over. And even when it wasn't completed, he was burnt. Tony McRae didn't make any plays in the secondary. And that is what killed us. There's a reason that they went from 6 points to 21. There had to be something here. And it really was a secondary. I know people are going to want to hear, oh, it's really Patricia's fault. Patricia should have done better. What is he supposed to do? You have 3 of your top 4 cornerbacks out. Now tell me, how many times did I bring up Amani's name here? Oh, that's right. I didn't. Why? Because Amani was playing good coverage like the starting cornerback can do. But when you have your reserves starting, it doesn't matter who you're going against. How many teams have to deal with 3 of their top 4 cornerbacks going down? Your 3rd pick's out. Your $20+ million man is out for 2 years. Your Darius Slay replacement is out. Your Justin Coleman, who signed a huge deal, one of the highest paid slot cornerbacks, is out. Now you're relying on Darryl Roberts, okay, who was awful last year as a starter. That's why we got him. Tony McRae, who's basically never played cornerback. He's just a special teamer. And Amani Oruwariye as your number 1. And that's all you had. You didn't even have a 4th cornerback active. You didn't even have a 4th cornerback. That's what went down here. There's a completion here and there, Will Harris. But it was dumb. It was stupid mistake. It was silly mistakes. Now, where were Lions missed opportunities? You had multiple. You had an interception by Stafford. You can't do that. He knows he can't do that. He can't do that. You had a missed field goal by Matt Prater, which, say whatever you want about it, Matt Prater's made those consistently. He about made this one, but he missed it. It's a missed opportunity. That is a missed opportunity. Tracy Walker dropping a pick. Okay, a pick that would have ended the game. Great job to be in position, but he dropped it. It's still a missed opportunity. A sack that was missed by Julian Okwara instead leads to a big completion to the 1-yard line because he didn't contain the quarterback, which I said was the game plan. So missed opportunities pile up. Flags pile up. 2 flags. These aren't necessarily, I think, coaching plays. You get a face mask because you're trying to bring him down. You reach, you miss, face mask. And Jelani Tavai jumps offside. The guy that's coming back for year 2, he's one of the leaders now, goes offside. So all of a sudden, you're looking at this, and you're telling me that the Lions defense was this bad. A team that gave up 6 points. I don't care. You gave up 6 points in 3 quarters. You gave up 2 points a quarter. And you're going to tell me this defense was just bad? It could have been better, of course. You gave up 6 points, though. Mitchell Trubisky was 11 for 25 with 150 yards. No touchdowns until Trufant goes down. And once him and Coleman go down, Mitch Trubisky just attacks. 3 touchdowns, 9 for 11. 2 incompletions, that's it. 9 for 11. 90 plus yards. One of them was a drop. Guys, what really happened here is our cornerback group was completely depleted. And I've said it, the most important position on Patricia's defense. That's why we put so much into this. That's why we drafted one in the top 5, in the top 3, I should say. That's why we spent $20 million on one. That's why the year before we made him the highest paid slot cornerback. That's why we drafted Imani and we kept him on the team. And obviously, you know, we still drafted cornerback with him already here. That's why we went out and signed Darryl Roberts. That's why we signed Tony McRae. All of these cornerback moves, just why you brought in Deron Harmon, is because the Lions need the secondary in this scheme. And it wasn't like Matt Patricia from what I've seen. It's not like he got conservative defensively. If anything, he got more aggressive. He was bringing some pressure. But there's nothing that he can do when you drop back 2 seconds, you fire it one-on-one, and the guy's burnt. There's nothing he can do about that. What do you want Patricia to do in that situation? You have all these reserves out there. He's just trying to do whatever he can with who's on the field. So what does he do? Let's try zone. Well, that doesn't work. Okay. They still attack the same guy. All right, well, let's try to blitz. Well, you know, you're going to get a flag on that because, you know, your guys go off sides. They grab the face mask. Or if you blitz, it does work at times. It worked a couple of times, it works, and a couple of times it doesn't because in the back end, you get burnt. And that's not about Lions can blitz. We've talked about this in the offseason. That's why you have the cornerbacks to do it. But you can't blitz if you don't have the cornerbacks to do it. So in this situation, man, I'm not saying it's completely just corners because it was a mix. So offense has the responsibility, and they have to move the football. They didn't do that. The special teams needs to make field goals when they're out there. They didn't do that. But defensively, you have to have your cornerbacks out there. So this draws a huge question heading into week 2. Because we don't even know if Trufant and Coleman are going to be healthy. Hopefully Okudah's back. Because I think if Okudah's back, Roberts, sure he's a step down. But I think you may be able to get away with Roberts starting. Now, if you have him and McRae, it's over. I'm going to be honest here. You can't have him and McRae out there. I don't know what Patricia's going to do. I really don't. I don't know what you're going to do as a coach. There's literally nothing you can do with this if you have both Coleman and Trufant out and Okudah doesn't come back. I don't know what you're going to do. You can see they're already working out defensive backs. They're trying whatever they can to get somebody in there. But this is what happened. We have to break this stuff down because we have to understand what really went wrong here. We can't just say, it just went bad. We're trash again. No. Why did it go bad? This is why it went bad. Because everybody got hurt in the secondary in the same time. And it's not a coincidence that, they weren't doing good until they got hurt. It wasn't a coincidence. They only gave up 6 points until they got hurt. And it was like, it just went downhill. Well, that's why it went downhill. It's like any team. Well, Lions just need to get more pass rush. Well, no, because the teams that get more pass rush, they put their draft capital, their money, they spend it at pass rushers. But if the same teams, say, for example, Chicago. What if Chicago rolls out there and all of a sudden, I think Minnesota's a great example because Minnesota stacks that front 7. Minnesota goes out there, Hunter gets injured, okay? Michael Pierce, you spend money on, he opts out of the season, okay? So you go trade for Yannick. You got one pass rusher. That was like, we got our one Amani. But it doesn't matter because you're built around getting that defensive line to the quarterback. So where you're weak and susceptible is the cornerback group. For the Lions, where we are weaker is the defensive line. By the way, Nick Williams impressed me. I watched him back. Nick Williams was good. Nick Williams was very good in this game. And our defensive line wasn't even that bad. It really wasn't. I mean, honestly, it was not that bad. And it made some big plays when it had to. But it's like any team. If you lose 3 of your top 4 at any position, you're going to hurt. You're going to feel it, especially if that position is arguably where you put the most draft capital and money. I mean, it's like that for every team in the NFL. That's like losing 3 of your starting 5 offensive linemen in the same game. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. If Dallas loses 3 of their top 5 offensive linemen, that's going to be a problem with the run game. If the Bears lose Khalil Mack, Robert Quinn, and Akeem Hicks, they're not getting anybody. That's going to be a big problem. It's just what happened with the Detroit Lions in today's game. So the Lions got to figure something out by next Sunday. I don't know. Hopefully they're healthy. If they're not, they got to figure out something. I'm assuming Matt Patricia is going to do all he can to figure something out if they can't get back because I'm sure, he's working with them right now trying to see what they can do. But he's going to have to try something new. I don't know what he's going to do. And he does deserve blame for this. But I see all this stuff like taken out of context like, Matt Patricia is just throwing on his players. And if he is throwing his players, honestly, I can't blame him too much because it kind of was. It kind of was. And he didn't, by the way, he didn't. They asked him about the fourth quarter and, if he thinks it's something to do with his coaching. And he said it's not. And he's right. It's not his coaching. It wasn't. Go watch it back. It wasn't his coaching. It was the players. It was the players out there. And he tried different things. There's just not much you can do when you're literally getting burnt. This is why we stacked the cornerback position offseason. We got unlucky, and they all got hurt. Okay? It just happens. I guess just us. I haven't seen this happen to another team. It just happens. We're going to have to figure it out by next week. But don't take this out of context and be like, Patricia, he's throwing everybody under the bus, because he didn't. He literally said the coaching has to be better. He told this Swift the coaching has to be better, and we need to execute better, which are facts. There's nothing that's not true about any of that statement. Yes, the coaching had to be better, and the Lions had to execute, and they didn't. Either side of the ball, they did not. So offense, they should have done more. But specifically looking at this defense where everybody is going off on Patricia, I know I'm going to get hate, but I don't care because this is facts. I'm here to give you guys the facts. Go watch those 4 drives, and you tell me what Patricia was supposed to do differently. Oh, well, hey, put a different guy on Jimmy Graham. Who are you going to match up on him? Your guy Jimmy Collins? Yeah, he got himself kicked out of the game. Who are you going to match up on him? I have no idea. Will Harris? He's just even smaller. I can't cover. Can't put Deron Harmon out there. He was your best graded safety. What linebacker are you going to line up with him? Jelani Tavai? Probably not. I don't know who you're going to line up. Tracy Walker is your best bet. With no Kerr suspended and with Jimmy Collins getting himself kicked out, that's your best bet. Heading into that is your best bet going into that against Jimmy Graham. And Matt Patricia did bring blitz. He didn't get completely conservative. The Lions just got so unlucky here with injuries. And hopefully they can get healthy or figure something out. But I think we have to understand this, guys. I think we have to understand what really went wrong here. We can't simply just say that we're trash. We have to understand what's going on. Okay, because something happened. You don't just go from 6 to 27 just like that. It doesn't just, we just stopped playing defense. Like, no, that something had to happen. And now that I watch it back, I see something happened. And it was that every cornerback got injured. And once that happened, the Bears attacked. And shout out to them. Give credit to them. They took advantage. That's what you're supposed to do. Player goes down, you take advantage. And not only did one player down, 2 players went down. And heading into the game, another player was down. They went out there, they took advantage. And they got the dub. So, should you be optimistic for next week? Yes. Yes, you should. But that is barring the Lions, trying to figure something out heading into next week. I don't know if that's they get healthy. I don't know if that's sounding players. I don't know what that is, but hopefully they figure something out. And I'm still behind this team 100%. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out. Look at all these cool people. Look at all these cool Hall of Fame, All-Pro, and patrons. You guys are so awesome. Look how interesting. That's an interesting name. I've never seen one like that. I'm not saying that one out loud. We got some cool stuff here, man. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys want to be part of this? Click the join button. I appreciate you guys. Look, man, you guys are cool, man. I see you. Oh, I see you're not sneak. I see you down there, my boy.